Agni parthene vespina achrande theotoke Erenim fianim fevte parthene mitiranosa panenthroset epoke Erenim fianim fevte Isilotera uranon actinon lambrodera Erenim fianim fevte Harabartheni con horon angelani pertera Erenim fianim fevte
Children, my name is Kyria Christina Bujarowski, and I am blessed to teach Katotero at the Holy Cross Church in Wollongong. I really hope you enjoyed today's lesson about Joachim and Anna.
Firstly, I would like to know which one of you have a younger sibling. I can tell that many of you do, and I wonder if you can remember the joy you felt and how happy and excited you were when your mother and father brought home your baby brother or sister for the first time. What joy you feel as you watch them grow, when they had their first smile, their first word, and how about when they first began to walk? A mother and father have so much love for their children. They have so much joy in watching their children grow. Today I am going to tell you a Bible story of a lovely couple named Joachim and Anna. Joachim and Anna had a great desire to have children, but they were not able to. Joachim was a very rich man. He had many sheep, and from their wool and meat he made a lot of money. So much money that he was the richest man in that area. Joachim and Anna were very religious people, and whenever Joachim offered his sacrifice in the temple, he always offered twice as much as everyone else. 1/3 of his money he gave to the poor. The second third he gave to the temple, and he kept the only 1/3 for himself. Joachim and Anna led a virtuous and noble life. They had many virtues. Their life was a great example for all people. But besides their virtuous life, there was one thing that continually troubled them. Can you think what that might be? Yes, you're right. They had no children, no one to continue their family. Many years passed until they were quite old and past the age of childbearing. In those times, couples that were unable to have children were actually looked down upon. It was not only that Joachim and Anna had to live without children of their own in their life, but they had to deal with the humiliation that this brought to them by other people daily. People considered childlessness a curse. They believed that God was punishing them for previous sins they committed, and so he did not bless them with children. Despite the numerous challenges that Joachim and Anna were confronted with, they did not lose hope, nor did they complain to God, but rather increased their prayer and came closer to God. A hymn of our church describes Joachim and Anna going to the temple to offer God their sacrifice as they usually did. But this time, the priest of the temple refused them. God has not blessed you and you are not allowed to offer a sacrifice. Imagine how this loving couple would have felt. Following this, Joachim went to a desolate, a place uninhabited upon a hill, and remained there for many days, fasting and praying. Anna, upon her return from the temple, fell to her knees and also prayed continuously. Once again, with great pain, they asked God in their prayer to bless them, and they promised God that if he granted them a child, they would dedicate it to serve in his temple. I wonder if you can guess what happened. Indeed, after such great patience that Joachim and Anna showed, God granted them a baby girl, whom they named Mariam, or Maria, which means queen. They kept Maria with them for 3 years before presenting her to the temple. Even though that would naturally have desired greatly to hold on to their child, especially after having to endure many difficulties, they showed great obedience and humility toward God in keeping their promise. I'm sure you all know now who Maria is. Yes, she is Vanaia, a holy mother, and her parents, Joachim and Anna, never lost faith in God. What we have learned is that despite enduring insults and humiliation of other people daily, they never spoke back to any of them. Nor did they complain against God that He had not blessed them, but they completely trusted God. They never said, "Why doesn't God reward our virtuous life and our good works?" But instead, what did they do? They increased their prayers and fasting. What do many people tend to do when their prayers aren't answered immediately? Many people turn against God and say, "Since God isn't replying to my prayer, then I don't believe that God exists." But we know that we must pray continuously and we must have faith and trust in God. Just like Joachim and Anna, the rest we must leave up to God. God knows everything. He knows what will benefit and what will not. In the end, after praying and fasting and doing our best, we stand back and say, "Not as I will, but as you will. Let your will be done," just as Christ did in the Garden of Gethsemane a bit before He was crucified. Be persistent in your prayers and have trust in God. Remember to complete your activity sheet attached and have a blessed week.